Name's Travis Peterson, branch of service, United States Marine Corps, ranked sergeant. I served in Iraq. I was injured. A vehicle-borne IED hit my truck that my squad was on. I received a lot of shrapnel, and none of my squad, my infantry squad, was killed during that attack. Pretty much it was the end of my career after the attack, with the shrapnel and everything else, and the injuries from the blast and regarding the seizures and everything. But I can say that even after the incident, the Marine Corps did a really good job taking care of me and all of my guys that were injured as well. After I got out of the Marines, I hit a very bad point in my life. I hit a low point where I was abusing drugs and alcohol to a point where it was costing me relationships with my family members, my wife, my children. And I just really felt alone. I felt like I was the only one going through some stuff. And after a while, I went to a rehab center. And from there, I met a guy that really kind of took me under his wing, and he helped get me back up. And from there, I really reached out to the VA and started doing some PTSD counseling. And one of the counselors recommended this program, actually. And this program is Warfighter Scuba. And I was a little hesitant at first. I've never dove in my life. I've never breathed on a regulator. I'm not very good in the water. So coming out here was really me taking a chance. But I'm really glad I did. And I'm really glad that I pushed that fear to the side and showed up. Well, first thing that hit me right away was the people that ran it. The people that run my course, the prior military, the guy that's in charge of it, Nick, prior military. He's also a prior Marine. So right off the bat, I had a lot in common with a lot of folk here that are an integral part of the program. And literally an hour after I got here, all that fear went away. I was laughing, I was joking. I was having a good time in the water, and the fact that I'd never done any of this stuff before wasn't a problem, because not only were there as my brothers, they were there teaching, and for me it was huge to see people go through it with you. I'm not just going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to get in the pool with you. I'm going to get in the ocean with you. I'm going to be right by your side as you go up and down. And during the week, we dove as much as we could. I mean, for me, the highlights of the dive were first and foremost just the brotherhood, sitting around at lunch and dinner and breakfast, talking about everything, not necessarily the military or the bad stuff that happened, but just our families, and laughing and joking and having that bond I haven't had since I got out. But this week is hard to pick just one, but for me, the shipwreck at 100 feet was amazing, because just getting in a 6-foot pool was a stretch for me. So to end up in the middle of the ocean, dive into a shipwreck at 100 feet really, really did a lot for me. And the second part was probably when we seen the shark in the water that was sleeping. It was a whole different experience than what I imagined in my head. I think this program, first and foremost, programs like this need to have funding, because this is not a show up, gather around a campfire, and those have their places. But with this program for wounded veterans who all have the same thing in common, Purple Heart, PTSD, trauma, we get together and we're able to actually help each other. I would recommend that every single person that got the opportunity, don't walk over here, run over here. This place has been literally a miracle. I've thanked the people daily, and I don't think they realize what Warfighter Scuba has done for me and what I know my other brothers here. So get out here if you get the opportunity. You're not going to be put in a bad situation. You're going to have a great time. They take good care of you, and they just have a good time. It's amazing transformation. I want to thank everybody that donated their time, their effort, their finances, You guys help more than you know. You literally save lives. And I've been at some crazy low points in my life. And I can tell you programs like this where I see that people do care go a long way for me. So when I go home, I can be a husband, I can be a father, I can be a productive member of society. So thank you guys, not just for me, but for my family and everybody in my community that I interact with. You definitely are changing lives.